Your chest tightens, your thoughts start sprinting, and in the next 60 seconds, you're going to choose one of two lives. Life one is panic, reactive decisions, rushed words, and regret you can't take back. Life two is calm focus. You do the next right thing, with a steady hand, even while everything around you is loud. And this isn't just about being stressed. Under real pressure, you can lose your reputation in a meeting, damage a relationship with one sentence, or make a decision that costs you months. So, in this video, I'm going to give you a simple Stoic crisis protocol, a step-by-step mental sequence you can run in real time when pressure hits. Not philosophy as decoration, philosophy as a tool, a protocol you can use in a deadline, a conflict, bad news, or a full-blown emergency. But before we get into the steps, you need one truth that changes how you see these moments. Pressure doesn't reveal your character, it reveals your training. Because when the alarm goes off, you don't rise to the level of your intentions. You fall to the level of your systems. And pressure has a predictable way of hijacking the mind. It narrows your attention so you only see the threat, not the options. It speeds up the story so your brain starts writing a disaster movie in real time. It shortens the fuse so you snap, defend, blame, or spiral, sometimes before you even realize you're doing it. And it confuses urgency with importance, so you chase noise and ignore the few actions that would actually change the outcome. That's why just calm down doesn't work. You can't talk yourself out of a fire alarm with a motivational quote. What you need is an operating system, something you can run even when you don't feel ready. That's what the Stoics built. Training for moments when the world gets loud and your mind is tempted to become louder. So, here's the protocol. 3 ancient principles focused into one modern sequence you can actually use, starting in the next 30 seconds. Think of this like a mental flow chart. When pressure hits, you don't debate, you run the protocol. The first principle comes from Epictetus, the dichotomy of control. The second from Seneca, premeditatio malorum, rehearsing adversity before it arrives. And the third comes from Marcus Aurelius. The obstacle becomes fuel, not a verdict. Put them together and you get one promise. Control what's yours, rehearse what could happen, and turn the obstacle into the next action. Now, let's walk it through as a real-time sequence you can use anywhere. At your desk, in your car, in the hallway before a hard conversation. You don't need perfect conditions. You just need a few seconds of willingness. Step 0 is the pause, the gap. Before you do anything, you create a small space between the trigger and your response. 3 seconds, no reply, no send, no snap decision. Take one inhale through the nose, and then exhale longer than you inhale. Drop your shoulders and let your jaw unclench. You're not trying to feel calm. You're taking back the steering wheel. Step 1, name the impression. The Stoics had a word for the first automatic interpretation your mind throws at you. An impression. Under pressure, your mind produces impressions like, this is bad, this is dangerous, this means I'm failing. And the skill is not to merge with that story. Treat it like a message, not a command. Here's a phrase that creates instant distance. I'm having the thought that this email means I'm in trouble. I'm having the thought that this mistake will ruin everything. I'm having the thought that they're judging me. Notice what happens when you say this. The thought becomes an object you can look at instead of a room you're trapped inside. Step 2, split the situation in two buckets. What's up to you and what isn't. Do it fast. 30 seconds. List 3 things in each bucket, even mentally. Up to you. Your next action, your tone, your preparation, your attention, your integrity. Not up to you. Their reaction, the past, the economy, the exact outcome, being liked. And here's the rule that changes everything. If it's not up to you, it cannot be your assignment. You can care, you can plan, but you cannot carry what isn't yours to control. Step 3, premeditatio malorum. This is where you remove the shock. Ask one question. What are the 3 most likely ways this gets harder? Not the worst science fiction scenario, just the realistic hits. The boss is angry. The time is shorter than promised. The information you need is missing. The other person doesn't respond. The conversation goes sideways. Now, for each one, give yourself a 1-sentence response. A simple, then I will. If the boss is angry, then I will ask for the priority and confirm the deliverable in writing. If I can't finish it today, then I will propose a smaller deliverable by 5 p.m. and a full version tomorrow morning. If I feel myself spiraling, then I will take a 2-minute walk and return to the control split. You're not predicting the future. You're pre-committing your character. Step 4, turn the obstacle into fuel. Marcus Aurelius trained himself to see the problem as material. The obstacle isn't a wall. It's raw material. It's something to work with. So, here's the prompt. This is here to train my, and then fill in the blank. My patience, my courage, my clarity, my discipline. And then ask the question that forces action. What would excellent me do next? In the next 2 minutes. Not the next 2 weeks. Not the full life plan. The next 2 minutes. Step 5. Execute the next right action. Stoicism is not feel calm, it's act well. Choose one action that is controllable, that moves the situation forward, and that can be done right now. Sometimes the next right action is to clarify. Ask one question that reduces uncertainty. Sometimes it's to contain. Reduce the problem to the smallest workable scope. Sometimes it's to commit. Set a timer for 10 minutes and start, even imperfectly. And step 6 is the close, the loop. When it's over, even if it's messy, you don't punish yourself. You extract the lesson. Ask 3 questions. What was in my control? What did I do well? What's one adjustment I can make for next time? That's the protocol. Portable calm, a sequence you can run when your mind is trying to sprint. Now let's watch it work in real life, because the point isn't to understand it, it's to use it under load. Picture this. It's 3:42 p.m. A message lands. Need the deck by 5. CEO is joining. Your inbox is overflowing. Then your boss pings. Why is this not done already? You can feel your body start to react. This is where most people speed up and lose themselves. So instead, you run the protocol. First, the pause. Don't reply yet. 1 long exhale, shoulders down, 3 seconds of space. Then you name the impression. My mind says, I'm doomed. That's an impression. It's a story trying to grab the wheel. Now split control. Up to me. Clarify scope. Choose the few slides that matter. Communicate clearly. Take the next action with integrity. Not up to me. My boss's tone, the CEO's mood, the past 6 hours, whether they like me today. Then pre-rehearse the realistic hits. The boss pushes back. Time gets shorter. Data is missing. And for each one, a 1-sentence response. Confirm the priority. Offer a draft now and a revision later. Use placeholders with sources. Keep moving. Then, obstacle becomes fuel. This is training my clarity under pressure. The obstacle is the task. Simplify. Make it sharp. Make it usable. Now, the next right action. Small, concrete, immediate. You send 1 message that reduces chaos instead of adding to it. Confirming you want a 5-slide executive summary by 5 p.m. I'll deliver version 1 at 4:30, final at 5:10. Any must include metric? And then you set a timer for 10 minutes and build slide 1. Maybe your boss is still difficult. Maybe the situation stays intense. But now you're not adding your own panic on top of the work. You're steering. Now, a different kind of pressure. The kind that doesn't feel like urgency. It feels like the floor dropping out. You're walking into your day and your phone buzzes. We have to cancel. Or an email says, we're moving forward with another candidate. Or you get a call from family. Something happened. This is where people either explode outward, messages, calls, blame, or collapse inward and go numb. Again, run the protocol. Pause. Sit down if you can. 1 long exhale. Don't fire off messages while your nervous system is on fire. Name the impression. My mind says, "This ruins everything." That's a prediction, not a fact. It's your brain trying to make sense of pain by turning it into a final verdict. Split control. Up to me. My next call, my presence, my plan, my values, the care I bring to the next hour. Not up to me. What already happened, other people's choices, the timing, the past. Premeditatio malorum. What's the next likely difficulty? Practical logistics, emotional waves, uncertainty, and then simple responses. One call to gather facts, one message to the key person, one stabilizing routine: water, food, sleep, so you don't compound the hit by neglecting the basics. Obstacle becomes fuel. This is training my courage and steadiness. The obstacle becomes the mission. Handle what's here with dignity. And then the next right action. What's the next 2-minute step? Call the person who has the facts. Book the next appointment. Draft a calm email. Arrange support for your family. One small action that restores agency. Later, close the loop. Did I act with care? What did I learn about what matters? What will I do differently next time? And if you're in something heavy, let me say this plainly. This is not about pretending it's fine. This is about staying present enough to choose your next move, even while you feel what you feel. Now, before we close, let's talk about what makes pressure worse. Because sometimes calm isn't about doing more. It's about stopping the mistakes that pour gasoline on the moment. First, trying to control people. Arguing with their mood instead of acting on your mission. Second, treating thoughts as facts. This is a disaster. Becomes your operating system. And then everything you do comes from that story. Third, speeding up. Replying instantly. Sending the message you later regret. Trading a few seconds of relief for weeks of cleanup. Fourth, catastrophizing. One setback becomes, "My whole life is over." That's not realism. That's your nervous system talking. Fifth, vague action. I need to fix everything. Instead of one next right step you can actually take now. And sixth, self-attack. Using shame as fuel. It burns fast and poisons judgment. You don't need to be cruel to be effective. So, here's what I want you to remember the next time everything hits at once. The goal isn't to feel nothing. The goal is to feel what you feel and still choose what you do. When pressure hits, your mind will offer you panic, but you don't have to accept every offer. Create the gap, name the impression, split control, rehearse the realistic hits, turn the obstacle into fuel, take the next right action, then extract the lesson and reset. Run the protocol, take the next right action, then repeat. Because in a crisis, calm isn't a mood, it's a decision practiced.